Man. So, welcome everybody. If you're watching, oh boy, I'm gonna try to keep this live stream maybe up to 30 minutes, and stuff like that. I want to show you guys something. This is from my garden. It's a bell pepper. It's really small. It's like the first one of one of my bell pepper plants. But yeah. So let me see this here. Highlight video. Let's see. Retouch. Okay. So I'm gonna speak on some things here. That well, I'm gonna speak on some things here that are basically, what everybody on the planet needs to hear. Okay. And I speak for all humans. Okay. So, and I'm sitting here and I'm eating some rice and corn that I made yesterday. It's kind of a creamy rice and corn. So, we live in an age, we live in a world where we have the internet. Now, the original intent of the internet was to gain more control over the population of this planet. And they're doing a great job at it because they're selling everybody's data. They see they see everybody's lives. Not everybody, because there are a bunch of people who don't use the internet, who don't post on the internet. They maybe some of them go shopping on the internet, like they use Amazon, they use eBay, Temu, stuff like that. But they don't show their faces. They don't, yeah, sure, they show other information like their credit card information, their birth information for shopping or for subscribing to a newsletter that's online only. Whereas before it used to be magazines, newspapers, books, whatever. Now it's just online. But there's a lot of the population that uses the internet. And it's not just millennials. It's not just Gen Z. It's not just baby boomers or Gen X or Gen Alpha or the next generation after Alpha or the previous generation before baby boomers. It's literally all the generations that are using the internet, that are posting online, that are going to websites, and that are having their data stolen, having their soul stolen by the people who are using the internet. I mean, by the people who created the internet, which they're basically demons. Okay? They're demons, fallen angels, whatever you want to call them. But you see, there are a bunch of us who use the internet for truth, the actual truth, like I just gave to you. There are demons, there are fallen angels on this planet. It says so in all of the ancient books. It says so in all of the ancient writings, all of the ancient, hieroglyphs that you see, pictures, on a rock, drawings, whatever. Okay? They all told you, who came here, who deceived the human population, who controlled the human population. They all came here and did that. They all told you that. They all came here and did what they did. And then there are, excuse me, what I mean to say is a lot of the ancient people came here and told you exactly what the fallen angels, what the demons did, what Satan did when he fell to this earth. Lucifer, whatever you want to call him, devil, demon, who was an angel of light, an aeon of light. He was an aeon of light who created darkness because he wanted to be number one. He wanted to control the system. He wanted to be number one aeon out of all aeons of light. Okay? That's exactly, how it went. And that story is embedded in us. That story is in us. Okay? I never had that story locked. Some of you came here with Pandora's box inside of you locked. You just have to unlock it. Now, let's see here. Okay. So, am I headed in a direction? Am I sending you somewhere? Yes, I am. You see, there's a fundamental problem. There is a baseline problem of this planet. It's called being asleep. And not that you go to bed, not that you sleep in a bed or take a nap on a couch. It's that there's a huge percentage of the human population that is asleep, that is basically, playing with their children, paying taxes, going to work, buying groceries, going on the internet, riding a bicycle, growing food. They're doing everything they do on this planet, everything that humans do on this planet, except basically the things that they're supposed to do, which is shine the light on the demons, shine the light on the fallen angels, expose them. I know there's a plethora of people exposing them, but it's not enough. The whole planet has to go against them. You all give excuses and say, well, if I don't pay my bills, if I don't pay, I don't eat. Okay, breatharianism. You just fast. You drink water. You don't need food. You don't need that much food. You can eat once in a while. You don't need to eat every day. Oh, if I don't take my kids to school, they don't learn anything. Well, if you teach your kids to shine the light into the darkness, they learn something. See, you come up with the excuses. Oh, if I don't take care of my car, I have nowhere to go. It's called walking. Oh, I can't walk because I just can't. And I'm not going to say because, oh, I'm fat. Oh, because really? If you are someone who is in a wheelchair, you can still get somewhere. If you're someone who is overweight, you can still get somewhere walking, and that will reduce your weight. Not some GLP-1, not some medication, not some supplement. Exercise. And a lot of people will say, well, the problem is they eat too much. Well, I just said breatharianism. I just said you can eat less, meaning you can have one meal a day, and the rest of the time you fast. And then you exercise, you do things. Even sitting on the couch, just staring at the wall is actually doing something. It's not laziness, because laziness doesn't exist. Like in what we use laziness as, like, Oh, you're not working. You are just sitting on the couch watching TV all day. You're lazy. I mean, laziness is doing something though, but you get my point on laziness doesn't exist. So, um, it's, so basically, even nothing is something. But a lot of you just, that enters in one ear and goes out the other because you keep you keep Pandora's box. You keep your box locked. You don't let it open up. You don't open up your third eye. You don't open up your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. You don't open up yourself. You stay stuck in this world that is controlled by evil demons. Now, a lot of people will say, man, we don't give a fuck about that. We don't give a shit about that because we got bills to pay. We got kids to worry about. But see, they put that on you. That is their system. You are basically in their system. I'm not saying don't take care of each other. I'm not saying don't take care of your kids. That's not what I'm saying. Because you want to know what taking care of kids is? For somebody who doesn't have kids, but who was once a child. You know what taking care of kids is? Is show them the light, show them darkness, and have them expose darkness. Raise them to expose the evil that is on this planet, within the universe. Taking care of your kids is not, oh, I'm going to buy my kids a bunch of clothes, a bunch of toys. That's not taking care of your kids. Oh, I'm going to buy them all the food they want to eat. That's not taking care of your kids. I'm going to take them to this concert. I'm going to have them see, this place downtown or this place in another country. That's not taking care of your kids. That is you in the system. That is you basically, hey, I'm going to be in the system of buy my kids toys and they're taken care of. They will never complain. That doesn't work. You can buy your kids all the toys you want, but they're still going to complain. Do you know why? Because darkness still persists. Yin and yang. And in each of the yin and yang, you're going to have the opposite. In the yin, you're going to have the yang. In the yang, you're going to have the yin. In the light, there is a little bit of darkness. In the darkness, there's a little bit of light. In the light, we need to get rid of that little bit of darkness. In that darkness, we need to expand that light so there's no more darkness. Oh, you guys are afraid. You guys are afraid to do that because, oh, they'll arrest us. They'll kill us. They have better weapons than us. They have a whole entire army that we don't have. But do you know how many there are of them versus you? There's about 10 of them and infinite number of you. Infinite number of you. And there's only 10 of them. Easy peasy. You guys are waiting for that single martyr to basically start the revolution. You're waiting for Superman, Superwoman. But instead of waiting, all of you, including me, we should all rise up together and we should all defeat darkness. Oh, that's easy for you to speak. Talk is cheap. I'm not waiting for a Superman or a Superwoman to start the revolution. I'm not waiting for one person. I'm waiting for everybody, including me. I'm waiting for all of us together. I'm not waiting for my next door neighbor to wake up and then start defeating the evil demons and then I go follow. I'm not doing that. We all wake up together. It's like this. Like the government shuts down, right? We have government shutdowns in the United States. Other countries have their similar versions, right? Okay. Um, we could all shut down this planet. What? Here's a great example. Why are we paying demons to live on planet Earth, which was free before the demons came here and controlled us? Because the story goes, aeons of light were aeons of light. They were the light in the sky. Sun, S-U-N, not S-O-N. We all come from the light realm. One of them decided, hey, I want to be the leader of all aeons of light. And the rest of the light source said, no, we are all together as one. And he continued to say the same thing until he continued to say the same thing, basically, and darkness started to come out of it. He started to lose his light power. So they told him, here, we'll make you number one ruler of all these people on this so-called planet Earth, this flat Earth. Now, some other aeons of light, which would become the fallen angels, decided to follow him because they said, you know what? We want to be just like him. We'll follow him. Screw the rest of you. And so they did. And so Satan is the ruler of planet Earth with his fallen angels. The light can be shined back into him. We can defeat him. It's simple and easy. The Bible teaches you how to defeat him. All the ancient texts, they're manuscripts that teach you how to defeat him. But see, what has happened is Satan has created religion to basically take the manuscripts and turn it into some type of entertainment device, some type of thing like, oh, well, actually, this is what it actually means. Because he does not want you to know that they're manuscripts to defeat him. There are those who know. There are portions of the population that know. But see, that's too little of a population to do anything. And it has to be the whole entire planet. And people have been saying there is an awakening happening for a very long time. People have been saying that for a long time. Yeah, but it's really slow. It's really, really slow. It's an awakening so slow that by the time everybody's awake, okay, basically, there's nothing you can do because there won't be any humans left. Oh, how can everyone be awake if there's no humans? Well, see, what I'm saying there is that, are you guys just going to let transhumanism, the singularity, persist? Are you guys just going to basically have it be where, oh, we'll just let them create all these robots, all this AI infrastructure, and eradicate the human race? Do you know that right now they want to eradicate the population of mosquitoes on this planet by introducing genetically modified mosquitoes to where when those mosquitoes, the male mosquitoes mate with the females, the eggs don't hatch? Do you know what happens if you actually decimate a certain population of any type of living organism? Another organism does not survive because that other organism that it was feeding off of, that was its food, is no longer there. It's not going to go search for something new. It's just going to die off. Like how now they want, to reinstate, oh, you can kill buffalo. Yeah, you kill off buffalo. There's other animals that feed off of buffalo that are going to die. And the whole cycle continues. See, so when they want to destroy a certain population of whatever it is, the dominoes will fall. The dominoes are going to fall. It's that simple. The dominoes are just gonna fall in place. It's gonna be very easy. You're gonna see a decimation of animals, humans on a scale that you've never seen before. See, I'm gonna put this in front of you, okay? So we have the internet, we have books, we have television, we have radio, magazines, newspapers, all forms of media. We have all kinds of media out there, all kinds of media sources. And the number one thing that gets attention, there's this number one thing, sports, okay? Sports garners a lot of attention. Have I ever done anything with sports on my channel? Go look through my backlogs of video. Go look at all my videos, all of them, from the very first one to this live stream right now. Have I done anything about sports? Yeah, I'm talking about sports right now. Sure, I might have talked about sports like a little bit, like I might have mentioned 3 things, but I didn't show anything. I didn't do a whole video of sports but like, do I have a video specifically catered to sports, where the thumbnail shows something, some type of sports? The thumbnail is all about sports. The whole video is about sports. My description, my title. No, I don't. As a matter of fact, I never did. Do you know why? Because, see, sports within itself is a huge distraction. Not the physical aspect of running or jumping or lifting weights or doing basically exercise. Not that. Exercise is a totally different thing. Sports, basketball, football, soccer, Olympics, race car driving, like basically auto sports. We have so many people talking about it, and they get so many likes, they get so many views, so many subscribers. Why? Why are you paying attention to that? Why? And oh, you can't tell me what to watch, but I can save you. But I can help you. I can prevent you from being distracted. You can watch whatever you want to watch. You can listen to whatever you want to listen to. You want to fall off the cliff? I'm not going to let that happen. And it's not going to be my expense. It's not going to be, oh, so you would save a life and sacrifice yours? No, mine's not going to be sacrificed, and neither is the other person. Second of all, first of all, third of all of all. Nobody is going to be allowed to go down. If I'm not allowed to fall off the cliff, neither are you. If I'm not going to fall off the cliff, neither are you. We're not going to walk towards the cliff. There is no cliff. I mean, yes, there are cliffs, okay? You go to some mountain, there's an edge, that's a cliff. You go to your house, there's a cliff, the cliff of your house, the edge of your house, okay? Don't be stupid. You know what I'm talking about. Don't be retarded. Basically, it's like this. I'm going to use this as an example. Say this is a poisonous piece of food. Say this is poisonous, right? And basically, like, I'm right there. I'm not going to let you eat this poison right here. I'm not going to let you. I'm just not. I'm gonna hold you back, and I'm gonna be like, nope, that's poison. Do not eat it. Do not ingest it. Do not consume it. There are those of you who are going to say, well, so, what if you do that and then they turn around and kill you? That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Because I have friends who were going to do some bad things. I didn't let them. I was like, nope, because you'll end up in jail, because you'll have a bad relationship. I just save my friends. So that way their life continues to be a good life. So they don't have heartaches and traumas and stress and all that. I saved them. They didn't turn around and stab me and then go right ahead, with what they wanted to do. So exactly. Oh, you just never experienced that. You don't know everyone on the planet. All of us know each other on the planet. We're all aeons of light. We all know who we are. I mean, actually, let me retake that. Let me take that back. As a matter of fact, there are those who know who we are because our box has been open from the time we left the realm of light to the time we got here. The rest of you who have your box locked, you don't know, and you don't know that you don't know. And that's because you kept it locked yourself, or you were going to open it and then Satan locked it on your passage here. And so basically, you just have to unlock your box. Now, how do you do that? How do you unlock your box that's inside of you? You can, what? There's a lot of you are going to say, well, we watch books. We read books, watch videos. Okay. Well, first of all, I'm going to say this. You can grow a garden. Instead of buying food at a grocery store, you can grow your own garden. But then again, that doesn't work, because growing your own garden, you think, oh, well, I have something that is clean. I have something that is non-GMO. I have something that is not contaminated. But they spray the skies with aluminum, barium, and strontium. They spray the skies with chemicals. The ground is contaminated. That's why there's a Save the Soil movement. So before you grow a garden, what do? You basically go and get rid of all of those projects where they contaminate the planet. And it's not that difficult to do. We can all do it all together. But you guys say, oh, it's not possible. It's difficult. We can't. Of course, if you put that out into the universe, it's going to reverberate back to you. And then, of course, nothing's going to happen because you said those things. And those are negative things to say. You got to say, it can be done, it will be done, it's going to be done. And I can do it, I will do it, and I'm going to do it. It's easy. It's positive. I put that out into the universe. I don't put any negativity out into the universe. And I'm not talking about someone is swinging at me, someone is shooting at me, and then I say, well, I have to defend myself. So I either swing back or I shoot back at them to defend myself. That's not negative. That is self-defense. Because if there is a criminal, if there is somebody that we call a criminal who is shooting at you with a gun because they can, because it's their choice, whatever the motive may be, you have to defend yourself. Running away is not an option. Running away is what cowards do. As a matter of fact, that's a great topic, running away. See, a lot of you run away. You run away from everything. Well, I live in this country. I was born here. I was raised here. The taxes are real high here. So instead of fixing the issue, instead of getting rid of the monetary system, instead of going back to the way the planet used to be before we had a monetary system, you would rather flee your country. You're just a flea, because what do fleas do? Fleas are these little bugs. What do? They flee. When you wave your hand at a flea, because it's bothering you, it goes away, but it goes to the next host. They flee away. That's where we get fleeing from, because you're just like a flea. So you flee to another country. Oh, well, the taxes aren't 10% like my country, they're 2%. But you still have taxes. You're still paying taxes. And then you say, oh, well, I wish there were no taxes on this planet. But see, you want some politician to do that. You want some president to do that. No, you have to have that happen. Not somebody with a job title, it's you. I mean, yeah, you may have a job title too, but you get my point. You think that, me electing this person, like I myself, going to the voting counter, voting for this person is going to get zero taxes. No, it's everybody together makes zero taxes. It's not one person. It's not a president. It's not a leader of a country or a leader of a group. It's not the pastor at a church. It's not your boss at work. It's everybody. It's everybody. We all do this together. But of course, I was born and raised in this country. I live here. The taxes are too high. I'm going to the next country because here is 10% and here is 5%. Things cost $10 here. Things cost $5 here. But you're still going to complain because, I'm paying $5 when this planet used to be free. This planet used to be free before we had the monetary system. I mean, a lot of us can start off with David Rockefeller, but let's go before that, because the Roman Empire had a monetary system. The Greeks had one. The ancient Chinese had one. They were just using, copper, gold, silver, whatever, precious metals they were using back then. So, and devaluing the money, I mean, that's been going on forever. Look at what the Romans did. They were using pure gold. Then they would do like a thin coin of gold laced with copper, or, a copper coin laced with a thin layer of gold. And when you peeled it back, you found copper. Like, you get my point. The same thing we're doing in the United States. But see, I don't follow much of this monetary system, aside from that it's just evil and that it was set up by the fallen angels and Satan when they knew that everything was free. Because here's some food for thought. Water, as above, so below. As above, so below. There is water in the sky, up in the firmament, on flat earth, and there is water beneath the earth. As above, so below. It is free. It is a water cycle. Water cycles. It rains, so you have clouds, right? They're full of H2O. They're full of oxygen. They're full of the life force that you breathe. We are mostly made up of water. I drink a lot of water. I'm actually showing that on camera. I'm going to get into something in a minute with this water, and with showing what you drink on camera. I'm going to get into something. So as above, so below. So water is free. Now, how is it that we're paying for the most free, abundant resource on the planet that recycles itself? How is that possible? I got a solution to that problem. If we all put desalination plants on this planet that just run off of water, the electricity is free energy, which would be water. So we put them out in the ocean, and the way they operate is by using water. We could mitigate, I would say, all problems of this planet. I'm going to say all problems of this planet, and that's a fact. That's a fact. Desalination plants have been proven to mitigate all problems of that area, because you bring water to areas where it doesn't rain much, where not that much water comes there or is there. But instead, the demons, Satan, they want us to pay for it. They want us to pay a monthly fee, a yearly fee, a weekly fee. And they want to poison it too. They are poisoning it. It's not that they want to. They are charging us a monthly fee, a weekly fee, a daily fee. They're poisoning us. Daily fee because we buy water, okay, in plastic bottles daily. We go out to the store and we buy water. Why are we paying for that? How come you guys are allowing that to happen? You know, you can go and get free water. You know that you do not have to pay for water. Did you know that? Just think about that for a minute. Use your brain. Quit being retarded. Quit being stupid. Do not become dumb. Open up your box inside of you. Think about as above, so below. You can actually get free water. You want to know how to do that? You don't have to pay for it. It's free. Go to a lake, go to a stream, go to a river, go to the ocean, go to any body of water. Take some type of a cup, jar, pitcher, whatever, or a bottle, and then go boil the water. Boil it. Boil all the contaminants out of it. Do whatever it takes to make it the cleanest, freshest water on the planet, and then drink it. Have a sip. I gotta get some more water. Cheers. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to pay a bill. See, they don't want you collecting rainwater because it's free. See, they don't want you hoarding water because it's free. Because you're basically doing the whole logic of as above, so below. You're implementing that. And you're like, screw paying for water. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to have the water come from above into this canister, and then I'm going to even harness water out of the ground, so below, into the canister, into the bin, whatever you're placing the water into. They don't want you doing that because it's free, because it's outside of their system. That's why they don't want you doing it. It's not because the water's contaminated. It's not the water is contaminated. Yes, there are contaminants in the water. There's contaminants in everything on this planet. For those of you who are doing videos, oh, well, these are the eggs to buy. instead of these ones. This is the food to buy instead of this one. It's all contaminated. Until you get rid of all of the bad things off of this planet, this whole left or right paradigm doesn't work. The whole up or down paradigm doesn't work. It doesn't work. For instance, I'm eating white rice here. You see that? That's white rice. I'm eating corn. It's yellow corn. There's a lot of you who will say rice is bad for you. There's a lot of you who will say white rice is bad for you. Brown rice is good for you. Brown rice is bad for you. White rice is good for you. Actually, I'm going to say this. All of those I just mentioned do not work, because all the rice on this planet is contaminated. Until you get those contaminants out, you can't speak like that. Because if you say, well, rice is bad for you. Rice is bad for you because it causes this, and this. Well, every food on the planet causes that, because every food on the planet is contaminated. Because there are those of you, it's like, let me re-say this again. All right, I'm going to show you a piece of rice. I know you guys know what rice looks like. Okay, but there are those of you who will say, rice is bad for you. You need to eat salad. But did you know that lettuce actually picks up contaminants also? Because what's in the soil goes in, whatever's in the soil goes up into the plant, and it picks it up. And it doesn't turn it into something else. It just stays in there. Okay? I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea. Bro, you delusional. That's conspiracy theory. I actually grow lettuce. I actually research lettuce. I research what I grow. I know what the hell goes into that lettuce plant. There is a toxin that goes up into the soil. Up from the soil into the lettuce. Lettuce produces it into a toxin. Basically, it's not good for you. Is there anything we can do about it? It's just a natural toxin of this planet. Because there are natural toxins of this planet, and then there are toxins that we have created from things of this planet, or not from this planet, that we got from the fallen angels, that come from darkness. So a lot of you will say that rice is bad for you, eat lettuce. Then there are those of you who will say brown rice is the healthier option. Brown rice is better than white rice. Do not eat white rice. Both colors of rice, white and brown, are toxic. They both have toxins in them. They both pick up stuff from the ground. Yeah, but brown rice doesn't pick up, all of it more than, brown rice picks up less of it. Nope, it picks up the same amount. Man, that's a delusion. You guys are living a delusion if you think that left is better than right, right is better than left, up is better than down, down is better than up. You're stuck in the left-right paradigm. You're stuck in the left and the right. It's the same thing as, like I said before, I'm fleeing my country because this country is better. How is it better? Is it paradise? If it's not paradise, it ain't better. If it ain't heaven, it ain't better. There's hell on earth. This is hell because Satan's here. You're in hell. Hell is not a place in a cave with a red guy and a pitchfork, and there's lava in there, and it's 500 degrees Fahrenheit, whatever it is in Celsius. And heaven is not you taking a rocket, going up into the clouds, and then there's a guy with a white beard sitting on a golden throne and two gates in front of him with two entities with trumpets. That's not heaven. There is the sun, okay? And then there is planet Earth. The sun, S-U-N, and then there's planet Earth. Planet Earth. Okay? And then there is the moon. But religion sold you this idea that heaven and hell hell is this place with lava and rocks and, little demons running around, that are all red and have pitchforks. And heaven is just a white fluffy cloud with two gates that you enter in from. I mean, get out of here. That's not heaven and hell. That's not heaven and hell. You live on hell. You live in hell. It's called Earth. But Earth doesn't have to be hell. We can get rid of the hellish things on this planet. It's not that hard. I'll give you an example. I'm drinking water, and I'm going to speak about this. I'm actually showing you that I'm drinking a glass of water. Glass. Not plastic, not aluminum, it's glass. Glass is made from sand, by the way. In case you were wondering, in case you did not know. Okay. Let's talk about alcohol. Which, if you want to go back to the ancient word of it, from the Middle East, alcohol. If I botched it, let me know in the comments. Alcohol. So, have I drank alcohol before? Yes, I have. When I was 21. Here in the United States, you must be 21 of age to drink alcohol. Now, that doesn't mean that back in the 1940s, 1980s, there weren't kids drinking alcohol and getting away with it. That doesn't mean that certain states, look the other way. Okay? But here in the United States, the law states you must be 21 or older to consume and purchase alcohol. Okay? If you are a person 21 or older, 21 of age or older, and you purchase alcohol for a minor, someone who's under 21, you will go to jail. You will be arrested. It's a crime. Not that doesn't happen. Okay? Like I said. So, yes, I've tried it. Yes, I had it. It's something bad. It's something that's not healthy for you. It destroys your liver, destroys your lungs. It destroys your internals. You don't have mental clarity. It destroys brain cells. They say, oh, Well, see, like people in Alaska, if you're cold, drink alcohol. As a matter of fact, that's not something that you should like literally be doing. It doesn't warm you up. That is a myth. Like there's a movie with Cuba Gooding Jr. Uh, where he has a bunch of huskies, and something happens to him out in Alaska, and he drinks alcohol to make himself warm. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I'm remembering. I've only seen the movie like once or twice. It's been a long time since I saw it. I saw it when it first came out. I forgot the name of it too, but that alcohol does not make you warm. You do not want to drink alcohol when it's freezing cold. A lot of people say, well, alcohol can be used for other things. Yes, it can. So as long as it has, so as long as it doesn't have to do, so as long as it's not your body. If it's everything else but your body, that's fine. Because even rubbing, not rubbing alcohol, but even taking alcohol like Jack Daniels or wine or vodka, taking those and rubbing them on your skin, that's not healthy because your skin is porous and that alcohol gets into your bloodstream. It gets into your skin. And see, let me give you a little lesson on skin. See, science will tell you, medical professions will tell you, oh, your blood is really down in there. Well, how is it that I barely scratch the surface of my skin and blood comes out? It's already red. See, the blood is right there. It's but a millimeter thick. So literally that alcohol only has to go in a millimeter. It's only going in a millimeter. So literally, like, you're right there. You're just basically like, this is a thin layer of skin. So you applying alcohol to some type of wound, to something, you're putting something bad on your skin that goes into your body. Because your skin is also a living, breathing organism. It's not just your nostrils and your lungs. Your skin is porous. Your skin has tiny little pores that are breathing in and out. And they're breathing in and out everything. So literally, or sucking it in and out. So literally, when you put something on your skin, like if I was to take this water and put it on my skin, this water would go into my skin. Not like, like you see a sponge, you have a sponge, right? And you have a mess and you go like that on the table and then you see the water go. No, because you're not yes, you are a sponge, but not like, not, but you get my point. Your skin is porous. There's little tiny micro holes and stuff gets in there. So I stopped drinking alcohol. Now, why did I do it in the first place? That's a very good question. Because I wanted to experience what this whole alcohol sensation was about, what alcohol was about. I was like, what's the whole deal with alcohol? Why is everyone doing it? What's the big deal of 21 and, oh yes, I get to drink alcohol? It did nothing to me except all the bad things it does to you. Like when I say it did nothing to me, it didn't give me a buzz. And my tolerance level is super high. But I didn't go to the max either because I was like, I'm not trying to kill myself. I got headaches. I felt sick. I felt like, it's not that I felt like I was sick. I got headaches. It was no good. My body was deteriorating faster. It was no good. A lot of problems were happening. And I said, This is what alcohol does to you. Now, I experienced it for myself. There are other people who experienced the same thing. I heard it from them. So I already had, people have already told me what happens to you. And those people were right because they happened to me. So before I drank alcohol, before 21, people were telling me it's bad for you. This is what it does to you, this and that. And all I said was, okay. Then at 21, I said, well, let me see if they're right or wrong. And they were right. All those things came to me. And I said, yeah, I don't need it. I'm done. But see, I reverted back to what I always knew was the correct answer: water, or water with lemon. Now, a lot of people are going to tell you, oh, what kind of water are you drinking? Where are you getting your water from? What source? See, then that's where I'm going to go back to saying this. I'm going to go back to this. It doesn't matter, because all water, even if this water is filtered, it's still contaminated. It's still got a lot of shit in there that the filter doesn't filter out. It doesn't matter if I get it from a fruit, because that fruit has a lot of other contaminants in it, because the tree sucks up everything else out of the ground. And a lot of people will say, yeah, but plants do kill off a lot of contaminants. Yeah. Do you know how a lot of contaminants get killed off? You want to know how? There are processes that get rid of the bad stuff and only keep the good stuff. And this is where a lot of people in this world will disagree. Animals, meat. I'm going to explain. You have a place on this planet where it has a lot of good stuff that's healthy for your body, but also has a lot of bad stuff. Okay, well, you can't just go and eat the stuff out there because it has a lot of bad things, and some of them are poisonous. But you put a bunch of cows out there, they can eat that stuff all day. Cows have 2 stomachs. Cows have 2 parts to them. 3, but 2. If you want to take it further, 3, but 2. We're going to keep it at 2. And see, what happens is it goes like this. A cow eats up whatever it eats up, and then basically the rest of it, the cow eats up what it eats up, and then what you have is the cow takes the good stuff, sets it over here, and takes the bad stuff and sets it over here to come out of its asshole as shit. So when you eat the meat of a cow, you are eating all of the good stuff that the cow has retained. All of the bad stuff is gone. Unless the cow has been injected with some man-made chemical, man-made, drug. But if a cow hasn't been injected with anything, and it's just a cow that just grazes in the grass, grazes in the wild, because you put it there, and then you go to, it just does that, there's nothing bad. It got rid of all the bad stuff. It got rid of it all. Easy peasy. It really got rid of it all. Easy peasy. Shoot. Oh, okay. Where's my... Man. Trying to find this chat thing on here. So... Okay, well, whatever. So the thing is that instead of being distracted with these things out in this world, and you know, and it doesn't just go for sports. You know, I'm guilty of being distracted myself. I'm guilty of it. I've been distracted before. But those things that used to distract me, I don't allow them to be distractions anymore. I basically, you know, like for instance, okay, I talked about sports a bit. I don't talk about sports because I don't want to distract people with sports. I want to just talk about, hey, this is what we need to do. This is how you save the planet. This is, you know, what you should do starting at home, because it starts within at home, in this home. It starts with yourself, because, you know, you can't basically fix the world if you don't fix yourself. And you got to open up your box in order to fix yourself. Okay, so when I watch sports, it's very little. Very little. And when I do watch it, I don't watch it as like, oh my gosh, I like that race car driver. Nope. I just watch it just because I, you know, relaxing. There's nothing wrong with relaxing. You can relax under a tree. You can relax riding a bicycle. You can relax, you know, maybe sitting at the table, staring at a picture, and just let it relax you. You don't have to watch sports to relax, okay? You don't have to. But you know what? I would rather play sports than watch it. Like, for instance, disc golf. I play disc golf. I play with friends here. I have a friend who I play disc golf with. He's a really good disc golfer. He's taught me a lot of things. When I watch disc golf videos, I watch just to kind of, you know, see how to improve myself. Because I'm a backhand thrower. I'm not a forehand thrower. I'm not very good at forehand. And I throw best with this hand and arm, which is my right. My left, I'm not so good at. I can putt real good with my left. I can't putt real good with my right for some reason, okay? But I'm more dominant with my right. So when I watch videos on disc golf, I don't really necessarily watch tournament videos. I may watch one just to see, like, what a tournament's like and stuff like that. And once you watch one, you know what they're like in any event. I mostly watch videos like, okay, well, to improve your backhand, do this, try that. Just see what works. It may not work for me, but maybe I can incorporate it. Like yesterday, I'll give you an example, okay? So today's Friday. Yesterday was Thursday, okay? It is Friday, June 12th. Yesterday was Thursday, June 11th. And I went out to play disc golf with my buddy here at a disc golf course, which is literally about like 5 minutes away from my house. Like less than 5 minutes, actually. Yeah, 5 minutes away from my house. And it's a nice course. It's well maintained. If you guys... yeah, it's a well-maintained course. It's really nice. It's an 18-hole course. And we were on hole 9. Okay, we were on hole 9. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to try something I saw in a YouTube video. So coming up on hole 8, I was actually driving pretty well. My drives were solid. So on hole 8, it's basically like you start off kind of flat. Then there's like this hill after you start off the tee pad. So I was driving pretty well. And on hole 8, because here in in the place I live in, it gets pretty windy around, I would say, 2:30 to like 4:30. And so on hole 8, it's one of those windy spots, like where the wind just happens just to blow a lot. There's some trees on one side. There's a little tall grass on the other side, which is out of bounds. But the fairway is cut nice, and then the basket is right like on a hill. And so if you overshoot the basket, you practically fall down on the hill, and then you could roll out into the street down there, at the park. So I said, you know what, I'm going to go for this shot. I was like, I think maybe 20 feet away from the basket. And my putting is okay. I can putt, I fairly okay in like 20, 25 feet. I mean, okay. I'm not the greatest. Any more than that, I'm just going to use a mid-range and just try to just lay it up there. So I went for it, and then of course I missed the basket, but it hit the chains. It went past the basket, hitting the chains, and then went down the hill. And then I had to throw it back up the hill, and I didn't even make it in the basket back up the hill. So I was like, screw this hole. But it was a good run, okay? Overall, it was a good attempt. So we get to hole 9, and I launch off the tee pad really nicely with, what did I use? I used, I think, a mid-range or something that's like a fairway driver, not a distance driver. And I got to the kind of middle way of that hole. I kind of got to the midpoint. So what I did was I said, you know what? I'm just remembering this video where this guy got down on his knees and tossed a low shot, which was like a low approach shot to the basket. And I was aiming at the basket. Was I trying to make it in the basket from the middle shot? Well, I knew that it was going to be a tough shot from where I was shooting. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to attempt to make it in the basket because I could go over the basket, and then I would be taking 2 extra shots or an extra shot. So I would rather try to lay it up from here. So I got down on my knees, or down on one knee, and I tossed a disc that was like it was like I think a number 4 in speed. And I basically like rolled up on the basket. Like I was like 5 feet from the basket, practically. And I was a little bit under this tree because the basket is here, and then right here is a tree. And so I was kind of underneath the low-hanging bushes, and all I did was toss it in, and I made a solid putt. I learned something from someone else off the internet. That's what happened. And I used it, and it worked for me. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. You lay up, then you shoot it in from 5 feet, and then you make it in. And as a matter of fact, my buddy goes, hey, nice shot, nice, good job on this hole and stuff like that. And actually, it started on hole 8. Like it was hole 8 where I started to actually do better at disc golf. Because previously I was like going too far right, and I was hitting all kinds of bushes and trees. But starting on hole 8, or I should say starting on hole 7, actually. Starting on hole 7, I did a really good drive, and then I practically laid it up there next to the basket, because the basket on hole 7 at this course is like on top of rocks, like they raised it up. So my point there being is that if you are learning something off of what you're watching, you're using it to learn something, that's totally fine. But if you're using it as a distraction, like if you're just letting it consume you, if you just watch movies all day and just, oh, this actor, that actor, and then you go watch Access Hollywood, you go watch, yeah, you're learning about an actor, but you're not really learning something that could benefit you. See, I watched a video on disc golf. I saw a guy who literally, um, you know, what is this? Oh, um, uh, okay, no moderation. Jeez. You know what sucks is I can't see the live chat here. Come on now. Okay, so I oh wait. I know what I didn't do. Okay. So I didn't like, I watched a video, and this guy was like showing like basically tips and tricks for disc golf, to help you, become better at this or that or whatever. And one of the things he showed was, hey, sometimes you're going to have to get down on your knees and you're just going to have to throw, this way or that way. You're going to have to do this. So I applied one of those techniques and it worked. So I'm going to start applying that technique more often for certain situations. See, I learned something. But there are those of you who just sit there and you just watch movies all day, and and then you just, I don't know, you basically don't learn much, is what I'm saying. And there's people who will say, well, I don't have to learn anything because I'm going to die in any event. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But if you learn something, you can teach it to a newborn. You can teach it to the next person. You can apply it to your own life. It may help you out. That's all I'm saying there. So literally, and I'm not saying watching movies is bad, because I mean, come on, like I said, if you need to take a break, take a break. There's nothing wrong with taking a break. We all need to take breaks. A certain section of the population has basically taken it upon themselves to say taking a break is evil. Like there are some places that people work at. There are places on this planet where people live where they literally are like, you're not allowed to take breaks. That's a no-no. You must continue working, but you need a break. I mean, I'm going to say it like this. This is true. I was in math class in high school. I had this math teacher. And at my high school, we had days where you would only go to certain classes and they would last for 2 hours. So in my math class, which was a 2-hour class, I basically had to use the restroom. Now, a lot of you are going to say, why didn't you go before? Well, I didn't have to. Or maybe I did, But still, I had to use the restroom. There was another kid in that class who, I guess he had like a doctor's note, part of his disability, where if he had to go to the restroom, any teacher, they couldn't say no. They had to let him, and it was on his medical records or something. But I had to use the restroom, and I severely had to use it. So I asked my teacher, hey, excuse me, can I use the restroom? He was sitting at his desk. I was sitting at my desk, and I was doing the math, and I said, hey, could I use the restroom? I really got to go. And my teacher said, no. Sit down and do your work. And I was like, okay, but I really need, and he's like, I don't care. Like, basically, he was like, sit down and do your work. He kept saying that. So, that kid who had that problem or had that doctrine or whatever, he had to use the restroom. And the teacher said, yeah, you can use the restroom. And I was like, what the heck? And I started to get mad. "30 minutes went by. I mean, I was holding it. 30 minutes went by. And I asked, and he said no. So I literally, like, I walked up, and I was going to walk out, and he goes, you walk out of there, you're walking to the principal's office. And I was like, for using the bathroom? He had, now this was like towards the end, and he kept saying, oh, you have this amount of time left, you can hold it. And I was like, are you freaking kidding? Like, with me knowing that it's not good to hold, your fluids when you need to go to the bathroom, it's not good. It's not good to hold stuff in there. Number one and number two. But yet he was like, nope, 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 nope. Man, I got out of that class after the bell rang to go to your next class, and I just ran to the bathroom. I didn't talk to any of my friends. I ran out of there. I will never forget that. I'm not allowed to take breaks. Man, fuck that shit. I am not allowed to take breaks, man. Fuck that shit. Man, there were things I wanted to do to that teacher, but I kept my cool because I'm a cool person. I'm cool as ice, but I'm also cold as ice, if you know what I mean. I'm cool. So there are people on this planet who just don't believe in breaks, but you need to take a break. Your body needs to rest. Your body can't be in constant, like you can't keep constantly. There are people who constantly, they just like one business after another. They just keep running. They just keep running. One business after another, they just keep running. They keep running everywhere. They don't sit down. They don't let their brain take a break. They don't let their body take a break. I have neighbors here in this neighborhood who constantly work. They have children. They have a family, but they're constantly just working all the time. They're just like, I'm just like, you know what? Take a break. Even myself, I'm going to speak for myself right now. I get to a point sometimes, even with the life that I live, I constantly take a break. I constantly have to be like, hold on, slow down for a minute. Like I'm growing a garden. Yeah, I'm tending to the garden. There are times when I tend to my garden like crazy. And then there are those times where I'm like, take a step back from your garden. Let it grow. Let it do its own thing. You've already watered it. You've already given it its plant food. You already trimmed, this plant, that plant. Take a break. Like, I don't have to constantly go out every day and garden. Now, I will, look at my garden but I won't I'll go out constantly every day and just look at my beautiful plants and just sit out there, sit in the sun, speak to my plants. Yeah, but I'm not constantly managing the garden because even that sometimes gets to you. Even you need to take a break. Take breaks. There's nothing wrong with taking breaks. But society today, it's like everybody who's like, oh, I have to post a video every single day. I have to post every single day. I just, I got something to say. Do I post on this channel every single day? No. There's people who post way less than me. They get more views than me. Okay, for sure. There's this channel. I forgot the channel name, but it's this guy who his channel is all about car culture of the 1990s, early 2000s, like the tuner scene, like the Fast and Furious, car culture of the first Fast and Furious. Like he does, videos on like old car shows, how people used to respect each other. Builds were outrageous. People used to do this. People used to do that. He only posts one video a month. He's like, you're only going to get one video a month out of this channel. There's people who post every single day. There are those who also, they say, oh, I would love to post every day, but my equipment is down or whatever. And I'm saying that because my, my audio mixer thing on my computer, there's some issues with it. I don't want to post every day. I don't want to, I don't want to be the person who's like, oh, every single day, every single second, I got to click, and post. Come on, really? I don't want to flood the internet, in any event, because the internet's already flooded. Society's already flooded with just a bunch of stuff. And a lot of it is crap. A lot of it is slop. It's sludge. The majority of it. It's not like it used to be on the internet where there was actually good, valuable content. Now, like anything just gets posted. Anything, everything. People have no guardrails. It's like bowling, because there's bowling with guardrails and there's bowling without guardrails. Now, I know that bowling with guardrails makes it so you don't go into the gutter and stuff like that. It makes for an easier bowling. Yes, I get it, but think of it as like, there's no guardrails. Anything goes. Anything goes. People are just like, posting anything, all things, everything, every second. There is a video going on every single damn second of everybody's life. How can our brains keep up with that? We all subscribe to a bunch of different channels that we can't keep up with all that. Our brain does not have the processing power. It doesn't have that type of processing power to basically have all that information in a split second. Now, I left out Elon Musk. I left out all of these people who say, oh, don't you worry. You will be able to, with Neuralink, with all of, our inventions and stuff. Yeah, no, that's not going to do shit either. See, we need to slow down. We need to take the time to think things through. Take breaks. Stop going too quickly. Life isn't going anywhere. Life will just keep reproducing. The cycle will just keep going. Unless all of us Aeons of Light decide to go back into the light realm and just say, hey, we're going to take back everything we created. But, until then, everything's just going to keep going. Go. It's going to keep going forward. So take your breaks. Take your breaks. If you're at work, wherever you work at, and you need a break, go take it. Don't be the guy who's doing the job and is like, oh, I just got to keep going because I have this deadline, or if I stop now, my boss is going to, something. Like, no, take a break. If you have that type of boss who's an ass and it's like, hey, why are you taking a break? Why aren't you working? Just tell your boss, man, I need a break. And if he says, I don't give a shit, then you need to leave that company. Then you need to go find somewhere else where breaks are allowed, and not support that type of culture where you're a slave and they don't allow breaks. And I'm not saying, because I know there are those of you who will say in the comments, well, you're basically going from one slave place to the next. Yeah, I know. But that's not what I'm saying. Like, for instance, say I was working at a store and, I'm like, oh, I need to take a break, whatever. And this store place, because there are laws put in place in this world where you are mandated to take a lunch break. But let's say you're working somewhere, in whatever country you live in, and at that place, they're like, nope, no breaks. You must keep going. Well, first of all, check your laws. If there's no laws, well, okay, then you're just kind of screwed, kind of. If there are laws, then you say, hey, no, we're supposed to have a 15-minute break. And that manager says, nope, no 15-minute break. Well, then you sue that company. You sue that manager. You take him to court to serve him justice. You serve him up some papers. You serve him up, some stuff. And then you just get the hell out of there. And you go work for a place where, hey, you're hired. Oh, and I want to let you know, you get your 15-minute breaks here because it's required by law. You see what I'm saying? Now back to oh, you live in a place where they don't have any laws, and so really your manager who says, you're the CEO or whatever, who says you can't take breaks are not allowed. I mean, okay, in that situation, just leave and go create your own business. Because even if you go work for the next place, well, there's no law that says they have to give you a break. So just create your own business and there you go. Oh, I'm not capable of, don't ever say I can't. Don't ever say can't, won't, doesn't, does not, no. No meaning like in the sense of can't, won't, does not. If you're using no as in like, no, I don't want to shoot a person because you told me so, because that's evil, okay, fine. But if you're using no in the context of no, I can't, if you're using a word, I can't, no, can't, doesn't, does not, won't, will not, you're just self-defeating. That's all you are. So basically, make this world a better place, starting with yourself. You got to start with yourself. It doesn't start with, you starting with someone else. It's you starting with yourself. Open up your box. That's literally where it starts. A lot of you will say, oh, I can't. Yes, you can. If you can get a driver's license, you can. Then everything else is I can. If that I can got you a job, then that I can get you anything else. But a lot of you will say, I can get a driver's license. Oh, but I can't get this. I can't do this. I can do this, but I can't do that. No, you can do all things. You can get all things, whether you want to or not. See, that's what it comes down to. If you don't want to, okay, I have no objection. If 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 you don't want to grow a garden, but you can, I have no objection. If you say I can't, but you don't say I don't want to, we have a problem, because you can. Oh, I can't grow a garden. How do you grow a garden? I mean, first of all, in this day and age, you can't say I can't, because if you say I can't grow a garden, well, there's videos online showing you how to grow a garden. You visually see it, you hear it, grow a garden. It's not that hard. As a matter of fact, you don't even need to watch videos. You just go buy some plants, put them in the ground, water them, they grow. End of story. Oh, I can't do that. Now, I'm going to say this. There are those of you who will say, I can't because of rules and regulations. But there's ways around it. Never say I can't, because there's ways around it. Okay. You live in a place where the rules and regulations are you are not allowed to grow a garden. Okay. Then get the hell out of that place. Oh, but I can't get the hell out of there. What do you mean you can't get the hell out of there? What do you mean? You don't have the money? You don't have the resources? What if the place next door says you can grow a garden? It's just right next door. It's literally 5 feet from you. And it says that place next door is a place where you can grow a garden. And it's right there 5 feet from you. And it's the same price. It's, it's a place you can get into because it's right there. And because it's the same price, and it's because you just can for all the right reasons. Like, don't tell me you can't. No way. Because I can't. Well, the Europeans would have never been able, wouldn't have come here. I can't. Well, United States wouldn't have been all over this planet with its military. I can't. I can't. Jeff Gordon wouldn't be a race car driver. Wouldn't have been. I can't. The person who made Gran Turismo, Kazunori Yamauchi, wouldn't have made Gran Turismo, the video game. I can't. If I kept saying to myself, I can't grow a garden, I can't grow a garden, I can't grow a garden, I'm not able to, I wouldn't have a garden outside. I wouldn't be growing food. But I tell myself every single day I can, and I will, and I'm going to. I put that out into the universe, and what comes back? Food. I produce food. Vegetables, herbs, food. Okay? Alrighty, I'm going to get off. I got some stuff to do. I'm not going to overwhelm myself here. I don't get overwhelmed because I just don't. Because I don't let overwhelmingness come into my body. And I'm going to take breaks. I'm not going to, I got to continue on with this and not take a break. Nah. Make sure you make this world a better place. For everybody, for all generations. Beat the devil out of it. Shine the light back into Satan. Shine it back into him. Can we agree? Can we agree? Can we get along? Can we spread love? Love is the most powerful thing. I'm gonna tell you guys something. I don't have to like you, but I have to love you. I don't have to like you, but I have to love you. So And then the other thing is, which I know is going to contradict it, because a lot of you are going to, well, let me say this. Why do we have to give love, our love that's inside of us individually, to someone else when they have their own love inside? They were born with it. Well, see, love is an energy field. You got to bring it outside of your body to protect you and protect everything around you. You got to put a bubble over this planet. You got to spread it out there. So give love to a plant, give love to an animal, give love to another human being. Spread your love. Put it out there. Seriously, just put it out there. All right? Do something in your community that will lift your community up. We need to do uplifting things. We can't let evil persist. That is not an option. The only option going forward, is positivity. That's the only option going forward. And that was the only option from the beginning. But we have allowed evil, darkness, to slip in. We've allowed it to slip in. Whether it's through the cracks, whether it's through the big hole, we've allowed it to come in. So, I just say to you, do something about this planet. Make the world a better place. Make your community a better place. Help people out in your community. Do something positive, but also take breaks. Don't just keep doing because, I have a deadline. Because my boss said I can't take breaks. No, keep taking breaks. Sit and think. Open up your box. It's not that hard. I do it every day. I let my mind take a rest. I let my body take a rest. They tell you, and I think I've told you this before, a body at rest stays at rest. A body in motion stays in motion. See, your body is always in motion. Even when you're resting, okay, your body is still in motion. What is the motion that your body is in? It's in a resting motion. But see, what they're trying to tell you there, a body at rest stays at rest and a body in motion stays in motion. They're trying to tell you that, you sit there on the couch eating potato chips, not exercising, you're going to get fat. No, but your body is in motion. Even resting is a certain type of motion. Because how do you come to that rest? You got to move your body into a resting position. That's a motion. That is movement. Your heart is still beating when you're resting. When you sit on the couch, when you sit at a chair, and you look outside the window, your heart is still beating. Your cells are still going. Nothing stops. Your hair is still growing. You're still breathing. Your eyes are still moving. Your cells are still moving. Nothing ever stops. Time doesn't stop. The universe does not stop. It's in continuous motion. But the medical world and the science world, they are deceiving you by telling you, that's going to get you fat. That's not productivity. Yeah, because you're not going to work and you're not paying your taxes and you're not creating their crappy products that kill you and that poison you. That's what it is, because they're not because people who just sit there let's say this. No diss on philosophers, but people who sit under a tree and are just philosophers and are just being philosophers, of course, they don't. Someone who's a philosopher is not someone who's at a job where the CEO is going to make money, because like he doesn't have a worker who's producing the products so they can get sold, so then that CEO can make money. See, they don't want you to do that. They don't like that. They want you to come to your 9 to 5 or 11 to 8, whatever, or 12 to 8. They want you to do that. They don't want you to just take your break and stuff like that. So I'm going to do that. I already do that. And have a glass of water. It doesn't hurt to have a glass of water. Put some lemon in it. Squeeze an orange in there. But with the knowing that it's all contaminated, even if you filter it, even if you boil it, even there are still things in there, because we just live in that type of world. We just live in this world where contaminants are everywhere, whether we put them in there or they've been here since the beginning of time. So just be a positive person. Love one another. Love the world. We are not of this world, but we live in this world. Just love it. Just have peace and love, unity and respect. That's what Candy Kids are all about. True Candy Kids. Peace, love, unity, and respect. And a lot of you will say, well, Candy Kids are ravers, right? What do ravers do? Drugs, alcohol? Yeah, I don't do that. I don't do that. I'm a clean raver. Be a clean raver. Don't do the drugs. Don't drink the alcohol. So seriously, just be a positive, loving, caring person to all things and everything on this planet. I don't have to like you, but I have to love you. And I'm going to spread my love to you. All right? You guys take care. And I hope to see you in the next video. All right? If you guys have any questions or anything, put them in the comments. Watch my other videos on this channel. Go watch my old videos or my previous latest videos. And you guys take care. Have a wonderful day. All right? Peace, peace.